There are plenty of reasons why I like living on the country. It's quiet, got great views, property to manage however I want. It's just, I got some autonomy, right? I can kind of just do my own thing out here. But I've got a secret. I'm also obsessed with technology. I need to find a way to merge those two worlds, my old farmhouse with the modern technology. Govee's a great brand who makes tons of excellent smart lights. And you can turn it into a gamer's paradise just like this, make it all teched out. But, I mean, I can't live like this all the time. That's more like it. This is a space that I can live in on a regular basis. Stick around, I'm gonna show you how I used all these Govee lights to turn my third generation farmhouse into a place that can be more than just a techie, dark, dingy cave. We can be anything in between. I'm Chris at Gadgets and Gravel. All these products in here, I've been sent for review and testing purposes by Govee or a PR agency or somebody like that. However, nobody's getting any input on this video. We'll get to see it before you, so this is new for everybody at the same time. So as I said before, I'm living in a house now. It's a third generation farmhouse in rural Kansas. My wife's grandfather built it after he lived in a house here, built a new house, and we're in the new house. And it's a great place. Like, we've really loved this house. We've been coming here for holidays for years, and we had the opportunity to purchase it last year, and we did. The basement had to be completely gutted. There was some leaking in the basement, water issues, so we had to have it completely gutted, water drain tile put in and everything like that. And then we had to have walls put back up and everything redone. And so we're in a transitional phase between what we used to have, was here for years, to getting a new space. And I finally gotten to a point now where we're mostly done in the basement. We still have some trim pieces to put up and some drywall to fix, and we still have artwork we want to put on the walls. But it's at a point where we're taking a break and going to enjoy the space. And part of the thing that we did to help enjoy the space is lighting. Now, it had a bunch of old fluorescent style lights around the edges of the walls, so obviously those are gone. Now I've got LED can lights I've installed in the top, which are not smart, but they do have some cool features in them. And if that's something you're interested in finding out a little bit more about, let me know. Drop a comment down below. I'll see if I can do a video on those for you. But along with those, I've got all these Govee lights for the years, and I decided let's put them in one space. I finally have a space that's big enough and I can put them in, and let's figure out a way to do it while keeping it, merging my two loves, you know, the rural life and the tech life, and let's put those together. So that's what we've got here. So we're gonna go around the room, talk about the different pieces and how they all work together and the benefits of having a singular light brand, one ecosystem, because they all link together and can do some cool stuff. So let's get into that. All right, so let's start back in this corner. So this corner here is, we've got some art up here. There's an old crawl space. We've got our wood stack here, and this is an old pie cabinet that my wife's grandmother had, and we've got some stuff stored in it, and it's been pretty handy. But the lights that we're using around here are 3 Govee products. This one right here is the Torshare. This one I covered on the channel previously and reviewed it. It's a really cool light. We've got 3 individual light sections here with curved glass or curved plastic inside it to diffuse the light, and it can do some really cool effects. With that, then we've got their neon rope over here. I need to fix, so it's got these nice little adhesive strips that stick to the wall, and I don't know if this thing keeps coming down. But this is an old drain line. There's an outlet pipe used to come out here. It used to be part of a drain or a water line. We've talked about just putting a box over it or building up some drywall around it. So I just leave it and accent it. So I shaped the neon light rope here into an eye, just something kind of silly and funny here, and this clip keeps coming loose. So I'm going to have to redo the adhesive there. And over here, these are Govee's mini panels. These are really cool. I like them because they're smaller lights. They're about 2.5 inches, maybe 3 by 3, and they're little pucks. I'll put measurements up for all this stuff, but really cool little pucks. You get to put up there, you give it that retro kind of pixelated look. But what was fun is we came up with this design kind of accidentally, but then we had this. This is an old copper windmill that my grandfather or wife's grandmother, their grandfather had in their house forever. It was really cool because when we decided on this lighting pattern for the mini panels, we realized it kind of mimics the windmill. So it's kind of a cool accidental combination between the old and new. Let's move to a new section. All right, so that's the new corner of the room. So as you can tell up here, we've got a space up here. We still need to get some drywall put up on that. Need to get an outlet cover here, but I'm in the process of replacing a bunch of the, or not outlet cover, switch cover. I'm in the process of changing out a bunch of the switches because they're not smart switches and I don't have smart lights in my ceiling. However, I'd like to be able to control them remotely if I'd like. And so I'm working on getting some smart switches in here. But part of that challenge in being in a farmhouse like this is when it was built, the requirement for having a neutral wire didn't exist. Smart lights, most of the smart switches you're going to need to control dumb lights or anything like that are going to require neutral line because it keeps the signal to the wire so you can control it via smart or with the physical switch. An old house like this doesn't have it, so that's a challenge I'm working on tackling at the moment. Right here, these are Govee's Hexaglide panels. These are really neat. They're not the first ones to do these style of panels, but what I like about these is they've got kind of an offset with lights that come out through the back. And so I really like the way that helps it glow and stand off of the wall a little bit more. They've got really cool colors in here. They transition really well, but you can get good even whites on them as well. So you can kind of balance out your room colors if you're just looking for a nice, warm, relaxing night. And you don't want to feel like you're in a gamer's den or a tech club or something like that. Over here, this is the Govee Floor Lamp 2. So the difference between this and the original floor lamp, which I'll show you in a minute, because I've got the original, the 2, and the Pro we'll show you, is this added a secondary color, so you could get it in black or white, but it also has a light in the base of it. But either way, you get a really cool diffused light across it. You shine it into the corner to kind of just get a nice glow in the room. They're really handy to get that kind of thing done. All right, so right here, this is the Govee Skyline. This is another product I covered on the channel already, if you can't tell. Right here, right there. That's me messing up, not knowing how to cut a 6-inch hole through the sheetrock in the roof properly with a giant hole saw, and I messed it all up. So that's a repair I gotta make, but I did learn and I got better throughout the house. But with that out of the way, this is the Govee Skyline. The cool thing about this is basically it's one of their high-end light strips that they attach to this band here with the metal strip on the backside. Has some cool mounting hardware to attach it to your wall, but you can also run it floor to ceiling, but it just reflects, kind of like the floor lamp. It reflects off the wall, so give you a nice even glow. You don't have to stare at a light. They're really, really cool lights. I like these a whole bunch. I remember seeing them last year at CES, and it was great to be able to actually test them. But I'm going back to CES this year, so if there's anything you're curious about from that event, drop a hint down below and I'll see if I can find it for you. One of the products I decided to add to this room, I wasn't too sure how it would fit in here, but I really like the idea of being able to add something like this. This is Govee's Galaxy Starlight projector, the Ocean division. And I've covered this in a previous video. Links for all these things I've covered down below. But I wanted to add this in here because, again, it's just kind of adding glow to the room. I don't want to have any defined lights. While I've got great lighting in the ceiling that has a lot of flexibility in its own right, being able to do this and have just ambient light, nothing actually just shining directly at you, was really important to me. And I like being able to have this. This is, like I said, this is the Ocean one. So it kind of gives you kind of a watery look on the ceiling. You got all the colors you want to do with it, but being able to add this into the ceiling and add this lighting in here just kind of makes it a little more fun. It adds some light that's good, even lighting, and be able to layer your lighting in different shades. So while some of these you can notice are a little bit warmer, so more orangey yellowish, and some of the others are more bluish and whitish, layering those across the room gives a good even feel across the room instead of having all set color. So that's one thing that this projector does, and I really like it. Also, I want to shout out to this. This is a really cool feature this house has. One of the things when my wife's grandfather built the house is he put this in, and it slides back and forth. And so during the summertime, we'll usually keep it closed, but in the wintertime, because we have the wood stove fireplace, we'll open it up, let the heat go upstairs. It's really nice. Right here, this is the Govee Table Lamp 2. So I covered the Govee Table Lamp Pro with JBL sound earlier, and I'd mentioned this one. This is the replacement for the original Govee table lamp, and it changed out a little bit. I like the style a little bit more. It looks a little cleaner, a little more modern. It's got this kind of cool in the bottom of it, but this lamp's great because it's all completely diffused. All your light beads are inside of this. It has all the lights, has RGB and all the colors, but as you can tell, we also get some really good white colors, and being able to do multi-tone on this gives a great even glow across the room. Sometimes you can get the light too cool or too warm, and the great part about having dual colors in this is you can kind of even it out and have a great color or great light and good warm glow across your space. So it's a great to kind of put in the corner of a room or on a table when you're eating dinner or just kind of hanging out, playing cards, or just chit-chatting. It's a great lamp for that. So one of the other cool things I decided to do is with this piano here, is this piano, we don't know exactly how old it is. We can look it up, haven't done that yet, but there's some markings on it from people that have owned it within the family. And the earliest one we saw from 1927. So this will have almost been in the family for almost 100 years. Now, it hasn't been maintained over the years, and it doesn't really work. It needs a lot of work to be able to be played, but none of us play anyways. But we didn't want to get rid of it, partially because it's really heavy and hard to get out of this basement. But we thought it'd be really cool, so we're trying to repurpose it. And so I've installed this light strip in here, and this is one of Govee's light strip kits for backs of TVs. So this is from, I think this is TV Backlight version 1, one of the earliest ones. But I hooked it up in here and set up, since it can still be controlled with the same functions and same apps as all the other lights, I just don't have the camera enabled, and everything works just the same. So it's a really cool way to get this in here. And with that, you're able to adjust the brightness of different points so I can make the sides dimmer than the front. We still need some cleanup. We're gonna put some plexiglass in front of it and get it all cleaned up and make it shiny, but so far, this is a really cool option. All right, this light here, I was super excited for. This is another one that I saw last year at CES, and I really like this light because it embodies everything that I like about tech and how I'm trying to manage it and merge it with my love of the rural life as well, is because it's 3 lights in one. So you see we got kind of the galaxy star projector flowing lights on the ceiling. It's got the cool light ring around here, it's all diffused, but then you can also switch it to all the different colors. Let's see if we can get a switch here. There we go. So it's also got a downlight. You can twist this thing, it's on a ball, so you can move it in whatever direction you want. So this is color change, you can change it, make it warmer, however you want to do that. Change it across, get your perfect light, all that's in there. So that's what I love about this light, is being able to change it and set it to whatever you want, whether it's in the app or not, but you have all the flexibility, you control all of this. So I do have a review of this coming soon, but I definitely love having this light down here. Here we've got another one of Govee's neon rope lights. So I decided to take this one and try and combine it with this. These are their glide lights. So they're kind of light bars with a diffused white plastic across the top, so it gives you a good even color across it. And I wanted to figure out a way to kind of combine these two together. And so my wife and I all put our heads together to figure out a way to combine these two. And so a lot of times we'll set this and have kind of the color it is now. We'll kind of do like a color like a sand or whatever and make this kind of flow in blue so it kind of looks like water waves or whatever. But we can also obviously do this. So this is just a really cool way to get a big light across this entire wall without it blowing it out and just kind of taking over the entire space, because these are all dimmable. We can change it all however we want. And it's a really cool lighting setup. So here is where I've got the other projector. So this is Govee's Starlight projector, but the Nebula edition. So this one's got a different lighting setup inside of it as far as the LED chips and how it's all set up. And the number of chips, all is different than the one we showed earlier with the Ocean version. So this one gives you a different lighting effect. It's not quite the watery, it's more galaxy wispy stuff or whatever. But for the same reason, I wanted to be able to add just some lighting across the ceiling in here to give it a little bit of even glow from the top down. So that's why this one is here. And this one is the Govee Floor Lamp Pro. So this one's the tallest between the original, the 2, and the Pro gives us our tallest light. It's rotatable. You can spin it within its case. Great diffusion of light within inside of it. So it's just a good even light across here. And it's got a speaker built into the bottom of it. So this one will actually play music. You can hook it like a Bluetooth speaker, but also some white noises built into it. So depending on if you're doing like, a thunderstorm, it'll make kind of storm sounds that kind of matches with the lights. And it also has a light in the base. So it's a really cool, complete lighting setup with also audio in it, if that's something you're into. And lastly, this is the original. This is the first Govee product I ever reviewed. And this is the Govee floor lamp. And at the time, it was the Govee Lyra floor lamp. Basic floor lamp, but we've got just a white base, silver tube, good diffusion across the back. No speaker, no light in the bottom, anything like that. All of the lamps do have a remote control with a little clip to magnets onto it. It's a great light. It doesn't have the same color saturation. It doesn't have the same brightness levels as the other. But if you're looking for a good floor lamp that's going to be affordable and has some great features, this is one to check out. Lastly, we got this. So this is a TCL 85-inch TV. I don't know the model. But anyways, got to put this down in my basement. I was super excited to get a big TV down in my basement for the first time. But the cool thing about it, aside from the TV being nice, Govee's working with this because I've got this is the TV Backlight 3 with the 85-inch kit, the camera watching the screen, and then we've got on the floor lamps beside it, they're all synced together to kind of mimic what's going on the screen. And depending on what settings I have it on, sometimes it's going to use complementary colors to what's on the screen, other times it's going to match it. And so depending on how the setup is, but it's really cool to kind of expand that lighting. It almost makes the screen feel like it's getting bigger because we're covering it across the entire space. This is called Govee DreamView. So this is what you're able to use to connect multiple devices. So I've got the TV Backlight 3 as the primary. So then you go into, you set up a DreamView in the app, and then you tell it what other products you want to connect. And you can connect, I believe, up to 10 different lighting devices into the one DreamView. But once you just get it all set up, put it together, the setup is easy. It's really cool effect to give you a complete walkthrough. I'm gonna drop some video in here so you can kind of see how it looks. We were watching some movie the other day, and it was so dialed in. It's so perfect. I love the way it looked out. So anyways, this is TV Backlight 3 with the 2 floor lamps set up to kind of help mimic and expand the lighting even more. It's one of the coolest features that DreamView can do. But with that, you can also do it with music. So you can connect a bunch of devices and have them sync up to the music. So when the music's playing, whether that is from a movie or you're just hanging out in your basement or wherever you're gonna set up your lights at, you can have all the lights singing and acting to the music the same way and playing off of each other. So it's a really cool effect that Govee offers within their ecosystem, I guess is what you'd call it. Being able to combine a bunch of products at once so that you can have a shared experience across multiple devices is a really unique thing that it's hard to come by. And so because Govee has so many product styles, product lines, and features in their apps, they're able to link all these together and have some really, really great effects going on to it. So I'm gonna drop some video in here so you can kind of see some of the different options and what it can look like when you link all this stuff together. I do have voice control. So all these lights are connected to, I have it both connected to Amazon Alexa and Google Home. So I can control it through either of them. I can say turn on all the basement lights, tell it to make them all certain colors or whatever. So it's all connected there. And I can use voice. I can use the Google Home or Alexa app from my phone. I could also use the Govee app from my phone. Sometimes I won't have to do either of those. And if my kids are just coming in and out of the house, won't turn lights on and off, got this. This is a smart button by Govee that you can press and control all the lights. On or off, it gets the job done. Flip it one more time, and there we go. Back to the last setting I had them at. It's great. There you have it. That's my old Kansas farmhouse and how I'm trying to modernize the basement while still keeping the things I love about the fact that it is a farmhouse. It is a home with a lot of emotional significance to my family, and I love the house. But sometimes I just got to change it up a little, make it a little more me. But I want to be able to have the options and flexibility, and these lights from Govee help me do all that. Thank you to Govee for sending all these lights out to me. While this is not a sponsored video specifically, all these products were sent to me at one point in time or another of the years, and I've been able to collect them all into one place and be able to use them this way. So thank you, Govee. Thank you to you guys for checking out the channel and watching all my videos. Hit that like and subscribe button so you catch the next one. If you hit the bell icon, you'll get notified when it drops. So I've got a lot of more stuff coming up, some big things coming next year. I've got a lot of plans for the channel, and I'm going to change the way I do some things and hopefully get more products for you guys and some better videos. So thank you. Look forward to seeing the next one.